Welcome back to our Advanced English Listening series. Today, we explore the complex concept of productivity. Most of us grew up with specific ideas about work. We were taught to value constant activity and long hours. However, many of these lessons are actually quite harmful. In this session, we will debunk these modern myths. We will examine why your brain is not a machine. This passage is perfect for mastering high-level vocabulary. It will also help you refine your listening stamina. Pay close attention to the nuanced arguments presented here. Try to internalize the sophisticated sentence structures used throughout. Let us begin our deep dive into the truth about output.
We often perceive productivity as a simple equation of time and output. This narrow view dominates our modern educational systems and corporate environments. We are conditioned to believe that more hours spent equates to more value created. This philosophy finds its roots in the harsh soil of the early industrial age. During that era, manual labor was the primary driver of the global economy. A worker on an assembly line produced more units by working longer shifts. This mechanical logic was eventually applied to the realm of the human mind. We started treating our cognitive abilities like steam engines or spinning jennies. However, the human brain is not a tireless machine designed for repetitive motions. Our mental energy fluctuates based on complex biological rhythms and external stimuli. Schools reinforced this mechanical perspective by enforcing rigid schedules and standardized testing. We were taught that sitting still for 8 hours was a sign of discipline. This discipline was supposed to be the key to professional success. In reality, this environment often suppressed our natural creative and analytical instincts. We learned to fear the silence of a blank page or an empty room. Instead, we sought the comfort of constant activity to prove our worth. This constant activity is often a mask for a lack of true progress. We mistake the motion of a hamster wheel for the progress of a marathon. This fundamental misunderstanding has led to a global epidemic of burnout and fatigue. People are working longer hours than ever before in human history, yet the sense of fulfillment and genuine achievement remains elusive for many. We are running faster, but we are not moving toward a clear destination. We have optimized our lives for speed rather than for meaning or depth. We must dismantle the myths we were taught from a young age. Only then can we rebuild a healthier relationship with our work and time. The first great lie we were told involves the nature of consistency. We were taught that a productive person is consistent every single day. We envision a person who wakes up at 5 and follows a rigid routine. They are supposed to perform at peak capacity from dawn until dusk. This image is a dangerous fantasy that ignores our biological reality. Humans are seasonal and rhythmic creatures by their very nature. Our energy levels are influenced by sleep quality, nutrition, and emotional states. Some days we possess the clarity to solve complex architectural problems. Other days we struggle to compose a simple 3-sentence email. Forcing a high-intensity output on a low-energy day is counterproductive. It leads to errors that require even more time to fix later. We were taught that pushing through exhaustion is a mark of character. In truth, it is often a sign of poor self-regulation and ignorance. True productivity requires an intimate understanding of one's own internal cycles. It means working intensely when the mind is sharp and alert. It also means retreating when the cognitive well has run dry. This ebb and flow is the natural state of creative work. By ignoring these cycles, we create a state of chronic mental friction. We are constantly fighting against our own brains to meet arbitrary deadlines. This friction consumes a massive amount of our precious daily energy. We end up exhausted before we have even started our most important tasks. We must learn to respect the periods of low energy and quiet. These moments are not empty space to be filled with busy work. They are the essential recovery periods that make high-level performance possible. Another significant error in our upbringing was the glorification of multitasking. We were often praised for our ability to juggle multiple responsibilities simultaneously. Technology has only exacerbated this tendency by providing endless streams of data. We believe we are being efficient when we check emails during meetings. We think we are saving time by scrolling through news while writing reports. Modern neuroscience has proven that this is a complete cognitive delusion. The human brain does not possess the hardware
hardware for parallel processing of complex tasks. Instead, it engages in what researchers call rapid task switching. Each time we switch focus, we pay a heavy cognitive tax. This tax is known as the attention residue from the previous task. It takes several minutes for the brain to fully re-engage with a new problem. If we switch every few minutes, we never reach a state of deep focus. We remain in a state of perpetual shallow thinking and distraction. This leads to a superficial understanding of the work we are doing. We become experts at glancing, but failures at truly seeing. Our educational systems rarely taught us the value of singular, intense focus. They favored broad curriculums and frequent transitions between unrelated subjects. This trained us to be generalists with short attention spans. To reclaim our productivity, we must relearn the art of deep work. We must protect our attention as if it were our most valuable currency. This requires the courage to turn off notifications and close extra browser tabs. It means choosing one difficult task and staying with it until completion. This approach feels slower in the short term but yields superior results. 1 hour of deep focus is worth 8 hours of distracted effort. We were also taught that rest is a reward for hard work. This perspective suggests that we must earn our right to relax. If we haven't finished our to-do list, we feel guilty for resting. This creates a toxic cycle where we only rest when we are broken. We wait until we are on the verge of collapse to take a break. By then, the rest is merely a form of emergency repair. It does not provide the rejuvenation needed for future creative growth. We must view rest as an essential component of the work itself. Rest is the period during which the brain processes and synthesizes new information. It is when our subconscious mind finds connections between disparate ideas. Many of history's greatest breakthroughs occurred during moments of deliberate leisure. Archimedes was in a bathtub when he discovered the principle of buoyancy. Newton was famously sitting in a garden when he contemplated gravity. These were not moments of laziness, but moments of profound intellectual incubation. If these men had been answering emails, they might have missed those insights. Our current culture treats doing nothing as a cardinal sin of the modern age. We feel the need to justify every minute of our existence. We listen to educational podcasts while we exercise to maximize our time. We read business books while we are on vacation to stay competitive. This constant input prevents the mind from wandering and exploring. A mind that cannot wander is a mind that cannot innovate. We need to reclaim the lost art of true, unproductive leisure. We need time where we are not achieving, learning, or improving. This silence provides the space for our most original thoughts to emerge. The concept of the 40-hour workweek is another outdated construct. It was a victory for labor rights in a manual manufacturing economy. In the world of knowledge work, it is often a meaningless metric. Some tasks take 5 minutes but require 10 years of experience. Other tasks take hours but add almost no real value to the world. We are still being paid and evaluated based on our presence. This encourages a culture of presenteeism where appearing busy is the goal. People stay late at the office just to show they are dedicated. They send emails at midnight to demonstrate their relentless work ethic. This behavior rewards stamina over actual skill or effective problem solving. It creates an environment where the most exhausted person is seen as the best. We should instead focus on the impact and quality of the results produced. A brilliant solution found in 2 hours is better than a mediocre one found in 40. Our obsession with time as a proxy for value is deeply flawed. It discourages efficiency because finishing early only leads to more work. If you finish your tasks by noon, you are often given someone else's tasks. This system inadvertently punishes those who are truly productive. It trains people to stretch their work to fill the allotted time. This is known as Parkinson's Law, and it governs most modern offices. To fix this, we need to shift our focus from hours to outcomes. We need to trust professionals to manage their own time and energy. This requires a level of autonomy that many organizations are afraid to give, yet autonomy is one of the greatest drivers of human motivation and creativity. The way we define goals also contributes to our productivity struggles. We were taught to set massive, ambitious goals for the distant future. We are told to aim for the moon to achieve greatness. While vision is important, these giant goals often lead to paralysis. The gap between our current reality and the goal feels too vast. We become overwhelmed by the sheer scale of the required effort. This overwhelm leads to procrastination and a sense of failure. Then we look for productivity hacks to force ourselves into action. These hacks are usually temporary fixes for a deeper structural problem. Real productivity is built on the foundation of small, repeatable systems. It is not about the grand gesture, but about the daily habit. We should focus on the process rather than the final destination. If you improve by 1% every day, the results are exponential. This shift in perspective removes the pressure of perfectionism. It allows us to make mistakes and learn without feeling like a failure. We were taught to fear failure as the opposite of success. In reality, failure is the raw material from which success is built. Each mistake is a piece of data that refines our mental models. A truly productive person is a prolific maker of mistakes. They move through failures quickly to find what actually works. This requires a growth mindset that values learning over appearing competent. The final pillar of this new productivity is the cultivation of self-compassion. We were often taught that we need a drill sergeant in our heads. We thought that being hard on ourselves was the only way to stay motivated. We use guilt and shame as sticks to drive ourselves forward. But research shows that self-criticism actually hinders our performance. It triggers the brain's threat response, which shuts down the creative centers. When we feel bad about ourselves, we are more likely to procrastinate further. We seek out distractions to escape the negative emotions we have created. This creates a downward spiral of shame and inactivity. Self-compassion is the act of treating yourself like a good friend. It means acknowledging your mistakes without demeaning your character. It means understanding that you are human and will have bad days. When we are kind to ourselves, we recover from setbacks much faster. That concludes our exploration of the great productivity lie. I hope these insights challenge your current perspective. Mastering C1 English requires engaging with such philosophical topics. Do not simply listen to this passage once. I recommend practicing shadowing to improve your speaking rhythm. Focus on the pauses between these shorter, punchy sentences. Try to use 3 new words from this text today. Which myth about productivity did you find most surprising? Please share your thoughts in the comment section below. Your engagement helps this community of learners grow together. Remember to like this video and subscribe for more. Keep practicing your English with intention and patience. I will see you in our next advanced lesson.